Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for stopping by. Today I'm going to show you how to make this triple delight, the perfect Father's Day dinner idea. Let's do it. Okay guys, so I always like to start off with my sides first. So here we'll make some mashed potatoes. I've added some garlic cloves. I went ahead and smashed them to get all the flavors in there. And I added some chicken bouillon and salt. Give it a good stir and allow to boil until nice and tender. Once the potatoes are tender, I go ahead and drain them, return it to the stove, and on low heat allow all the extra liquid to dry out. Then I turn the heat off, add my butter, and I go in there and smash my potatoes until they're nice and smooth or to your desired texture. If you've been following me, you know that I don't like all of my potatoes smooth. That's why I don't use a hand mixer or a blender, or I don't run it through a sieve, none of that stuff. I just mash it and that's fine for me. Then I go in with a little bit of seasoning just to flavor it up some more, and I will add some half and half milk and cream. Allow these to combine to your desired texture. Once it reaches the texture that you like, you can stop right there and just transfer this to your serving dish. Quick, easy, and simple. And I will leave all my correct measurements and ingredients that I use down in my description box. So don't you worry if I'm going a bit too fast. Everything will be listed in the description box. And there you have it. My mashed potatoes is all done. Now let's move on to our next side. Next, we'll be making some cream spinach. So here to my skillet, I will add my spinach and allow them to wilt and release all of the liquid. If you know spinach, it's very watery and I don't want the liquid to be in my cream sauce. So I like to, allow the liquid to release first. Then I drain it. And now we will make our cream sauce, adding some onions and garlic to the skillet with some oil. Allow those to go for about 2 to 3 minutes. Let them cook down a bit and then I will show you what to do next. Now in with about 2 tablespoons of butter. We will allow that to melt. Once it melts, we'll follow up with some flour. Once the flour is added, allow that to go for about a minute or two. And then we will come in with our half and half milk and cream. Once the milk and cream has thickened, we'll now add some cream cheese, allow that to melt. Then we'll follow up with some Parmesan cheese. Once the cheese is added, you want to add some seasoning for flavor and taste. Remember to taste and adjust seasoning to suit your own preference. Once everything is nicely combined, we will now introduce our spinach back into the pot. Give it a good mix. At this point, you should have your heat turned off. You do not want to cook this too long and overcook your spinach. Remember, we cooked it before. So you want to turn your heat off, give this a mix, and that's basically it. Your cream spinach is all done. Now we can move on to our entrees. So now let's prepare some spare ribs. So I went ahead and washed the rib thoroughly, remove the membrane from the back of the rib, and for the seasoning I'll be using some rib rub, garlic and onion powder, some sazon, Tony's Creole seasoning, salt, some complete seasoning, and black pepper. You want to give everything a good mix, and then we'll go in with some mustard just to allow the seasoning to adhere to the ribs. Once the mustard is added, make sure it's nicely coated on both sides. You don't want to add too much of that mustard, just a little bit, and it will do for both sides. Make sure it's coated, and then you want to start adding your seasoning. Just pat it in gently. Don't rub it because you'll be rubbing off everything. You just want to gently pat it into the rib on both sides, and once you're done, we will place this in a bag, allow it to sit for about 2 hours, and then I'll show you guys what we'll do next. So after about 2 hours, I placed my rib onto a baking sheet with some foil wrap. We're gonna wrap this up tightly and place it in a 400-degree oven for 1 hour. After an hour, I'll show you the next step. So after an hour, you want to rub this with your favorite barbecue sauce. I'm using Sweet Baby Ray's along with some hot sauce for that spicy kick. And yeah, we're gonna baste it liberally, and then we will place it back into the oven, this time uncovered. Just fold your foil wrap back so that the ribs can, be uncovered in the oven. We'll place it in there for about 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, I baste it for a second time, place it back into the oven, and allow it to go for 20 more minutes. And that's basically it, guys. Our ribs is all done. It's looking and smelling absolutely divine, but we are not quite done yet. Let's pair this with some shrimp. Here I have some extra large shrimp already washed, and I will add some oil to that. For the seasoning, I have shrimp bouillon, Old Bay, garlic and onion powder, paprika, and black pepper. Add those to the shrimp, give it a good mix, and set aside. Here to my preheated skillet, I will add the shrimp and allow them to cook for about a minute and a half per side. You don't want to overcook them, okay? So once they're nice and brown on one side, you want to flip them, allow them to cook evenly on the other side. Once they're done, you want to remove and set aside. Like I said, once your shrimp is done, you want to remove them, and we will now pair this with some Parmesan crusted chicken. So here I have some chicken tenders. Feel free to use breast if you like. Breast is my least favorite part, so I like to use tenders instead. Here I have some ranch dressing, some Italian dressing. I have some chicken bouillon, salt, complete seasoning, garlic and onion powder, and black pepper. So here I will add, my dressings to the chicken along with the seasoning, and you want to mix that well to combine and allow this to sit and marinate for about 6 to 8 hours. Don't rush the process. If you have time and you could let this sit overnight, that would be best. So now let's take a look at our toppings. Here I'll be using provolone cheese in the slices, but you can grate yours if you like. I have coarsely grated Parmesan, some ranch dressing, melted butter. I have some panko breadcrumbs, finely grated Parmesan, and some parsley. So here I combine my provolone cheese with the coarsely grated Parmesan and the ranch dressing. You want to mix those to combine and just set it aside. This will be our actual topping, and next I'll show you how to mix up the crust for the top. So for your crust, you want to add the breadcrumbs and the finely grated Parmesan. Combine those first, and then we will add the melted butter. And you want to make sure they all are well combined, and that's basically it. You want to set that aside, and let's go ahead and cook the chicken. So now to my preheated skillet, I will add some oil and then we'll follow up with our chicken tenders. You want to cook them thoroughly on both sides. It should take about 4 to 5 minutes per side, and that should do the trick. Now don't be alarmed if these don't brown up the way you would like. It's because of the marinade it was sitting in. That might prevent it from browning, you know, the way we like our stuff looking nice and golden. Yeah, but don't worry about that because we will add the cheese and the browning on the chicken will not matter. So once they are cooked thoroughly, now you want to start adding your provolone and Parmesan cheese. You want to add that first, and then we will add the breadcrumbs over top. Once the chicken is nicely coated with the cheese and the crust, you want to place this in your oven on the broiler. Set the broiler on high and let it go for about 2 to 3 minutes. After about 3 minutes, this is how it is looking. Absolutely scrumptious. I like to top it with some fresh parsley, and that's basically it, guys. We can now go ahead and serve this up and enjoy. And here you have it, my idea of a triple delight, the perfect Father's Day dinner. Your dad will feel so appreciated with this meal. It was mouth-watering and delicious, and I can't wait for you guys to give the recipe a try. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it, and leave a comment down below. I will leave all my ingredients and measurements down in the description box, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your support, and as always, enjoy.